Yes, dear participants, let us start our discussion. This is related to optimization techniques and their applications in manufacturing engineering. I have simply put the title as manufacturing optimization, but you will come to know by the end of this or during and at the end of this session how I am covering various manufacturing process and their optimization aspects using advanced optimization techniques. I focus on one optimization technique so that you will learn that optimization technique. So the idea is at least you should learn one optimization technique by attending this training program, in addition to learning many things from the presentations of other speakers. Okay. So optimization, these are all formal definitions, but I try to make it in a simpler language. Optimization is the act of obtaining the best result under given circumstances. The word optimum is taken to mean maximum or minimum depending on the circumstances. And the ultimate goal of technological and managerial decisions is either to minimize the effort required or to maximize the desired benefit. This is the thing, even now, what is the advantage of online training programs? Participants, they need not travel now. Participants need not travel to NITs or IITs or any other place where the program is organized. So minimum effort, and even they may not attend all the sessions. The session in which they are interested, only they may attend. Other sessions, they will simply log in. That's all. Whether they are physically there or not, that only they know. Organizers will not come to know. So minimizing the effort and maximizing the desired benefit. Maximizing means most probably the certificate participants will get. In general, I am talking. Certain training programs, definitely like our present program, we are very serious about the seriousness of participation. That way it is all right. But in general, I have observed many programs, they simply award the certificate. So now maximizing the, this is in the human nature. If there is profit, we want to maximize it. If there is any cost, we want to minimize it. If it is cost, we want to minimize. If it is effort requirement, then we want to minimize that effort. It is just like a student entering IIT or NIT and expecting very huge salary at the end of final year. But for that, he has to put some effort. He has to put some effort. He has to do hard work. He has to study well. All those things. But what he wants, maximum benefit, highest package, at least say, at least 50 lakhs package per annum with minimum effort. Minimum effort. That is what actually they like, they want. Every human being also, in general, wherever profit or benefit is there, we want to get it to maximum. And wherever some effort is required to be put, wherever otherwise cost is involved, we want to avoid that. We want to minimize that. That is nothing but optimization. There is no need of any formal definitions. Maximizing or minimizing. Optimization can be maximization in case of profit type of things. Optimization can be minimization in case of cost, effort type of things. And now what we are doing now research, we are researchers. So what we are interested in, theoretically we know, every human being knows that maximizing the profit and minimizing the cost. But can we express that in terms of a function? The decision variables we know. Decision variables, also called design variables or process variables, we know. Then objective function, if we can write that as a function of certain decision variables. So optimization can be defined as a process of finding the conditions that give the maximum or minimum value of a function. Because the objective function, whether it is maximization or minimization, that can be expressed as a function of certain decision variables. So if you can find out what are the optimum values of those decision variables, then we can, by substituting those optimum values of the decision variables in the objective function, we can get our optimum value of the objective function. It is maximum profit or minimum cost. So this I will explain. I think most of you may be belonging to mechanical engineering. Others who do not belong to mechanical engineering, for them also no problem. I try to explain in such a way. Now, let us take a furniture company. Furniture company is making tables and chairs. It is making tables and chairs. And the profit contribution on each table is $7. On each chair is $5. So, and then you see, $7 is the profit on each table. $5 is the profit on each chair. Given a chance to that furniture company owner, how many tables and how many chairs he wants to make, given a chance, given the free hand, no restrictions, nothing like that. How many tables and how many chairs he wants to make, I feel infinite. He wants to make infinite number of tables and infinite number of chairs. So 7 times infinite number of tables plus 5 times infinite number of chairs. That will be his another infinite profit. But to his bad luck, he is having some restrictions like carpentry. The carpentry shop which he is having, each table requires 3 hours, each chair requires 4 hours. Total available capacity in that carpentry shop. There are many carpentry machines. So total available capacity in that shop, carpentry shop, is 2,400 hours. And painting, regarding painting shop, 2 hours each table requires for painting. That means each table requires some painting operation, 2 hours required. Each chair requires 1 hour of painting operation. And the painting shop also, its equipment is like that. Available capacity is 1,000 hours only. That means capacity limitations are there. He cannot make infinite number of tables. He cannot make infinite number of chairs, even if he wants to make the infinite profit. So other limitations are also given, like make at least 100 tables, make no more than 450 chairs. This type of problem. So how now the problem is how many number of tables and how many number of chairs to make so that the profit will be maximum. I am telling you, if restrictions are there, restrictions are not there, then answer is infinite number of tables, infinite number of chairs. But restrictions, also called constraints, are there. So we have to find out what is that number of tables, what is that number of chairs, so that maximum profit we can achieve, that furniture company owner. So let us say X1 is the number of tables, X2 is the number of chairs. X1 is the number of tables and X2 is the number of chairs. Then what will be the profit on X1 number of tables? On each table, $7 is the profit. So on X1 number of tables, 7X1 will be the profit. And on each chair, $5 is the profit. So on X2 number of chairs, 5X2 is the profit. So total profit can be written as 7X1 plus 5X2. This is our objective function. But here you please see 7X1 plus 5X2 is our objective function. Our objective function is profit. That you write here and keep it one place. Like here, as I have written here, Decision variables are X1 and X2, and maximize 7X1 plus 5X2. In blue color, you can see those. Maximize profit. That is our objective function. And then what about the constraint? Each table is requiring 3 hours. So X1 number of tables require 3X1 hours. Each chair is requiring 4 hours. So X2 number of chairs require 4X2 hours. So total time required in carpentry shop for making these chairs and tables, 3X1 plus 4X2. That will be the total time required in carpentry shop. And so this 3X1 plus 4X2 must be less than or equal to 2,400. Because available capacity is 2,400 only. So we cannot go for more than 2,400 hours. So 3X1 is the time taken for X1 number of tables. 4X2 is the time taken for X2 number of chairs. So total time is 3X1 plus 4X2. That should be less than or equal to 2,400. Similarly, if we write constraint on painting shop, 2X1 plus X2 should be less than or equal to 1,000. Or 2X1 plus 1 into X2 less than or equal to 1,000. So that is another constraint related to painting shop. Please remember, we have not solved for X1 and X2 so far. We have to find out. Just we are thinking X1 and X2. We are writing the mathematical model for objective function. We are writing the constraints. And X1 and X2 are to be found out. Now make at least 100 tables. So as per this condition, tables we are thinking x1, make at least 200 tables means what? X1 must be greater than or equal to 100. X1 must be greater than or equal to 100. And make no more than 450 chairs. Make no more than 450 chairs means what? X2 should be less than or equal to 450. X2 should be less than or equal to 450. So this is the meaning now. The entire model I am writing here. So this is the entire model as shown here. Model summary. Maximize 7x1 plus 5x2, that is the profit function, subject to the constraints. 3x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 2400, 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1000, and x2 should be less than or equal to 450, x1 greater than or equal to 100, and obviously x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. Because if you don't want to make any tables or chairs, then those are zeros. If you make them, they will be in integers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That is why x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0, non-negativity constraints. We call them as non-negativity constraints. So this is how we formulate the mathematical model. This is coming under linear programming. And we can solve it also. That is where those with mechanical background, they know by graphical method, we can solve it. And I'm not going, okay, let me brief. Let me explain this one so that I can directly go to the advanced topics. So in this case, what we are doing, the first constraint, 3x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 2400, we have drawn one line. This line is 3x1 plus 4x2 equal to 2400. How this line is drawn? Very simple. First x1 you assume as 0, then 4x2 is 2400, so x2 is 600. So on y-axis you plot x2 at 600. Next you assume x2 at 0, then 3x1 is 2400, so x1 is 800. That is this. So 3x1 plus 4x2 equal to 2400 is this line. Less than 2400 means below this. So less than or equal to 2400 hours constraint is represented like this. This is as far as only one constraint, carpentry constraint, is considered. Now take the second constraint on painting shop, that is 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1000. So we have drawn one line, 2x1 plus x2 equal to 1000. So how we have drawn, you can see here. How we have drawn, assume x1 as 0, then x2 is 1000. So on x2 axis we have shown as 1000. Then next to x2 assume as 0, then 2x1 is 500, so x1 is 500. So x1, 2x1 is 1000, so x1 is 500. We marked this 500 and 1000, we joined that line. You can see this. You can see this way. You have joined that line. Now what is this one? 2x1 plus x2 less than means below that line. And equal to means on that line. And then what is happening? Now? What is this one? This is the common zone, considering both the constraints. Because first constraint when we have plotted, I have drawn this line. Second constraint when I have plotted, that is this line. So what is the common zone considering both the constraints? This is the common zone. And now we have other constraints also. Other constraints, what are those constraints? X2 should be less than or equal to 450. So yet on X2 line, we are drawing at 450, we have drawn one horizontal line. So less than or equal to means below that. Actually below this line. Another constraint is x1 should be greater than or equal to 100. So at x1 equal to 100, we have drawn one vertical line, and greater than means right side. So the feasible region, it seems some bells are ringing. Let me see any topics are there. And okay, no, nothing. Okay, now let me complete this one. So now putting the x1 and x2 obviously greater than or equal to 0. Now this is the feasible region. Our optimum solution lies somewhere in this region or on the exterior surface of this region. What you do, take the coordinates of this point. x1 is 100, x2 is 0. Substitute this value of 100 comma 0 in the objective function. And the objective function is 7x1 plus 5x2. So substitute these corner coordinates 100 and 0, 100 and 0 in that, and you find out some value of the object profit. Then take this coordinate. What is this coordinate? X1 is 100, x2 is 450. X2 is 450. So substitute these values in the objective function, you will get to some profit. Then here, these coordinates also you identify. After drawing the graph, you will come to know. So those coordinates of x1 and x2, you put in the objective function and you check for the profit. And here, these coordinates of x1 and x2, you can substitute in the objective function, calculate the profit. What are the coordinates here? X1 is 500, x2 is 0. Put these values and check what is the value of the profit. And then out of those, whichever is maximum profit, those coordinates of x1 and x2, we consider as optimum number of tables and chairs. You may ask me, why not in this feasible region? Feasible region, definitely why not taking other points? No problem, take other points. Substitute those coordinates of x1 and x2, what some value of profit you will get. Definitely that profit will be less than the profit which you will observe by substituting the coordinates of one of these corner points. These are all convex optimization problems. That is why this thing happens. So even if you are interested to see, if I take here one point, corresponding x1 and corresponding x2, I substitute objective function. If you do it, participants, please turn off your mics. If it is less than negative, Amar Akbar Anthony, okay, Amar Bar Mohanty, okay. He is asking if it is less than negative value, then which area should we consider? My dear fellow, satisfying all the constraints, you draw the lines. Satisfying all the constraints. Whatever is the common zone, that is the feasible zone. Substitute the coordinates of those corner points. So that's all. It is like that. So now, okay, here I have not done this problem, but just I am telling you, you take the, I think here, this coordinate corresponding x1 and corresponding x2, that will give you the maximum profit. If you take any coordinates, those values, either inside this feasible region or other corner points, they give the less value of profit. So this is the graphical method of solving problem when there are two variables. But we cannot solve the problem when there are more than two variables. For example, here one problem, here okay, for the sake of Amar, I explain here, this is second problem, I am not going to explain this, but this is a feasible region, you see. After satisfying all the constraints, this is the feasible region. Whatever is the feasible region, x1 and x2 must be positive. You see, those must be non-negative. Those must be positive. In all our practical examples, if you don't make, then x1 is 0, x2 is 0. If you don't make. If you make, then they will be positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. There is no question of making negative tables or negative chairs or negative products. Okay. But theoretically speaking, what I say, whatever are the constraints, you plot those on the graph. Whatever is a common zone satisfying all the constraints, take the corners of that common zone and substitute in that objective function and check. Now, if you take the DITE problem, I am not going to explain because of shortage of time, because my aim is to show you some advanced optimization techniques and their applications in manufacturing. Just I am trying to break the ice by this, showing you this type of examples. Here, one lady, she wants to spend, she must spend on food in order to get the energy, protein, and calcium. She needs every day. She chooses 6 foods, and their energy content, protein content, calcium content is given. Price for each serving is given. Finally, this is the objective function. Objective function is 3x1 plus 24x2 plus etc. plus 19x6, and x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, 6. Their ranges are given, and these are the constraints. These constraints are greater than or equal to, because this is a minimization problem. my minimization problem. Now, how many variables here we are having in this case? 6 variables we are having. 6 variables we are having. Can we solve this by graphical method? No. I cannot solve at least. You may claim that you can solve. Then 6-dimensional graph you have to draw, and see common zone you have to identify, and then substituting the coordinates of those corner points that you may attempt. But for me, it is not possible. For many of the people, it is not possible to draw the 6-dimensional graph. So then there must be some method to solve many variables problems. And these are constrained problems, and minimization or maximization. First problem we dealt with maximization, and this problem is related to minimize the cost, because if you see the problem here, price for each serving is given in cents, so she has to spend money. So she wants to minimize that cost, but at the same time getting the required energy, protein, and calcium. That is why this is minimization problem. But number of variables are 6. And remember, this is all linear programming problems. Linear programming. These can be non-linear also. These can be non-linear also. So far, what we have discussed belong to single objective, constrained, multi-variable problems. Please understand, single objective, whether maximization of profit in the first example, in the second example, minimization of cost. And constrained problems we are dealing, constraints, multi-variables. That means many variables are there, not a single variable. So this is so far this. Now come to our multi-objective optimization. Multi-objective optimization, here what is happening, we are having say 2 objective functions, minimization function and maximization function, minimizing the cost and maximizing the efficiency. And now here these cost and efficiency are expressed in terms of certain decision variables x1, x2, x3, x4. Then some constraints are also written in terms of those decision variables, and ranges of the variables are written as that 0, x1 can vary between 0 to 50, x2 can vary between 0 to 32, x3 can vary between 0 to 44, x4 can vary between 0 to 18. So what is the meaning of this? Now what is the question? Finding out what is the combination of x1, x2, x3, x4, which will satisfy the constraints, and thereby giving us the minimum cost and maximum efficiency. Given a chance, if there are no constraints, what we expect cost should be? We expect cost should be 0 and efficiency should be 100%. This is what human nature. Cost should be 0 and efficiency 100%. But we are not that much lucky. Constraints are there. So as constraints are there, and we have to check various combinations of these x1, x2, x3, and x4. Suppose x1 0, x2 0, x3 0, x4 0. I am taking that combination because they can take any value within their ranges. I have taken x1 0, x2 0, x3 0, and x4 0. Then what I do, I substitute those values in these constraints. I check whether these constraints are satisfied or not. Okay, 0 plus 2 times 0 plus 0, totally 0. That is satisfying the constraint because 0 less than 150. All right. Then 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0.3 times 0, that is 0 less than 170. Next constraint also 0 less than 128. So constraints are satisfied. Then I put those values in my first objective function. 2 times 0 plus 3 times 0 plus 1.5 times 0 plus 0.8 times 0. 0. Cost is 0. My dear friends, I congratulate you. You have achieved the minimum cost what you are dreaming. But before congratulating, let me substitute the same values of 0, 0, 0, 0 in this second objective function. Efficiency is also becoming 0. I am sorry I have disappointed you because cost is 0 and efficiency is also 0. So that is why we consider 0, 0, 0, 0 may be a solution, but not the desired solution. Not the desired solution. So it is satisfying the constraints. So it is feasible solution, definitely. But we don't want it. We don't want it. Then take another set of x1, x2, x3, x4. x1 5, x2 31, x3 2, x4 6. Well, I can take any value because the ranges are there. Within those ranges, I am taking a combination. Let us say these values 5, 31, 2, 6, I substitute in the constraints. And okay, I substitute in the constraints. Let us assume the constraints are satisfied. Let us assume. Don't try to substitute there. They may not satisfy. It is only a fictitious value. So assume that the constraints are satisfied by these values. Then the same values you put in both the objective functions. Some value of cost, some value of efficiency you will get. Okay. Then take another combination of x1, x2, x3, x4, like 0, 14, 39, 9. Substitute here in the constraints. Suppose constraints are not satisfied. Okay, then ignore that set. Ignore this 0, 14, 39, 9. Go to another set, 49, 2, 40. x1 49, x2 2, x3 4, x4 0. They are within the given ranges. So substitute those in the constraints. If constraints are satisfied, then substitute in the objective functions. Then some other value of cost, some other value of efficiency you will get. So this way, a number of combinations of x1, x2, x3, x4, you have to attempt. Now I want to interact with the participants. Now, yes. Okay, now, Subbareddy, you can tell me now how many combinations are possible. You can turn on your mic. Whomever I am asking, they can turn on their mic and reply to me and interact with me rather. Subbareddy is there. Subbareddy, are you there? He is just logged in and not there. This is what I have experienced with the people. Okay, now Rishal Kashyap I don't want to ask because he is a PhD student now. Okay, then okay, our Rajendra Shimpi, can you tell us now how many combinations are possible here? Rajendra Shimpi. If your mic is not working, just write in the chat box, your mic is not working. I think he is also not there. Yes, Vaddepalli Pradeep. Okay, whom I can ask then? Prabhakar Rao, what is your idea, Prabhakar Rao?
Actually, sir, I am new for this optimization, sir.
Doesn't matter.
Yes,
Doesn't matter. I teach like I am teaching to children only.
Yes, sir. Whatever the example you have taken, and first, it's attracted me.
It's all right. Yes. You are new. Okay, you can be attentive. No problem. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Then, okay. Then what about our? Just one person I will ask, not more than that, because we don't have much time with us. Then okay, Harisha Naika, any idea how many combinations are possible? अरे कम से कम ये लिखो यार, mic is not working. Well, if it is really working or not, at least you can write that way. And that means they are not there. Simply logged in and busy on their own jobs. And okay, Savan Pefar. Okay, then I ask my person only. Then okay, Rishal, you can explain here now. What is your idea? Rishal Kashyap.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
You are very much.
Sir, by taking yes, sir. Sir, by taking this example that the sets that you have mentioned here, I think 16 C4 combinations can be made if we are going to take all these parameters.
Can you repeat once again? How many combinations?
16 C4, sir. As it is mentioned here, according to this, 16 C4 combinations can be made.
No, that is not right. Anyway, you have, at least you are present. For that I am happy. Okay, this you see, You see here how many combinations of these are possible means. Well, now I have given you these sets. And you see, x1 can take any value between 0 to 50. It may take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 50. And x2 can take any value between 0 to 32. x3 can take any value between 0 to 44. x4 between 0 to 18. Then so many combinations are possible. Even one may say 50 multiplied by 32 multiplied by 44 multiplied by 18. One may say that. But then I am saying, suppose if they are take the decimal values, then what? Decimal values. For a decimal ka matlab real values. For example, x1 5.37, x2 31.89, x3 1.678, x4 something 4.68 something. Then almost infinite number of combinations are possible. If they take integer values, then also a large number of sets of x1, x2, x3, x4 are possible. I think Prabhakar, I think now you have understood. A large number of combinations are possible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Then question is which set will give us the minimum cost and maximum efficiency? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know which x1, x2, x3, x4 will give us the minimum cost and maximum efficiency. That is why then we have to apply some optimization techniques to find out what the optimum set of x1, x2, x3, x4, which will give us the minimum cost and maximum efficiency. And please see, whatever is the final result given by that so-called optimum set of x1, x2, x3, x4, that we consider as a compromise. Compromise means balance solution. Cost we minimize, efficiency we maximize. And ideal value of cost is 0, ideal value of efficiency is 100%. But now, whatever we find out of these almost infinite or a large number of sets of x1, x2, x3, x4, the set which gives us, compared to the other sets, the set which gives us the minimum cost and maximum efficiency, that we consider as the optimum set. In fact, that is a compromise set. And but compared to all other sets of x1, x2, x3, x4, this optimum set of x1, x2, x3, x4, that is giving us the comparatively minimum cost and comparatively maximum efficiency. But how to know? What is that? What is that optimum x1, x2, x3, x4? If we can find out that, then solution is there. But how to find out? There are various methods. For that. Like we can solve, of course, there are methods how to combine those two objective functions in case of multi-objective problems. And problems can be single objective or multi-objective. We can use simplex method, traditional methods like simplex method, dynamic programming, separable programming, etc. These are traditional programming we can use. And advanced optimization techniques such as genetic algorithms, simulated annealing, particle swarm optimization, Tabu search, anti-colony optimization, artificial bee colony algorithm, etc. So many. I am telling you, dozens of advanced optimization algorithms are available now in the field of optimization. Dozens. Traditional optimization methods are already there. In addition, now we have advanced optimization techniques, also known as meta-heuristics. Some examples I have written here. So the problem which I have shown here, these two objectives problem with these constraints, whether single objective or multi-objective problems, we can solve by traditional methods and advanced methods. But advanced methods, they claim that traditional methods cannot solve the complex problems, and they may be stuck up in some local optimum values. Whereas advanced optimization techniques, they try to find out the global optimum value, and even complex optimization problems can be solved by advanced optimization techniques. This is the basic idea. Other advantages, disadvantages are there. Let us not discuss that. Basic idea of advanced optimization algorithms is that complex optimization problems can be attempted by these advanced techniques, and real global optimum it can search for. Whereas traditional optimization methods, sometimes without actually reaching the global optimum, they may reach some local optimum value, and they may not be useful for solving the complex optimization problems. That is the basic idea. But now I tell you here one thing. Certain problems which I had attempted so far in my career, I found in some cases traditional optimization methods have given the exact solution within a few iterations. Within few iterations, traditional methods have given exact solutions for the problem, whereas the traditional advanced optimization, so-called advanced optimization methods, they struggled. After so much of struggle, they have given such solutions which are nearer to the exact solutions after so many iterations. For example, if I solve one problem, if I get x1 as 3 and x2 as 4, that is the optimal solution, exact solution. x1 3 and x2 4. But if I apply genetic algorithm, after so many iterations, I may get x1 is 2.999998 and x2 as maybe 4.0002. So that type of things possible. So that is why I always tell in my training programs, whatever I conduct or wherever I deliver lectures, I normally say, don't look down upon the traditional methods. Don't look down upon the traditional methods. And don't look upon at the advanced optimization techniques. They have their own limitations. And no algorithm is perfect. No optimization technique, whether it is traditional or advanced, no optimization technique is perfect. They may be suitable, one optimization technique may be suitable for one type of problems or some types of problems, but that may not be suitable for solving all types of problems. I am telling no man is perfect, no woman is perfect, or rather I say no human being is perfect. When human beings are not perfect, what perfection we look in the after all optimization algorithms? What you expect? So don't expect. But nowadays, the researchers, the young researchers particularly, young means by age, people like me who have crossed 50, we feel still young because the young or old, that is related to your mind and soul. So our young researchers, young by age, what they think, we should apply only the advanced optimization techniques. We ignore the traditional optimization techniques. But their main aim is to get published. Research paper, publication. Okay, I don't deny that because reviewers are also carried away by that impression. If any author has applied some advanced optimization technique, then reviewers also may have some soft corner. If the same author has applied traditional optimization method, then reviewer may, he is also like you, so he may look down upon it. So probably with that reason or another reason, now the trend or the fashion or craziness towards these advanced optimization algorithms is increasing day by day. So that, but please remember, a problem. Suppose I apply all these methods to solve this problem. that by a two-objective optimization problem. Then after that, finally, I may understand that the genetic algorithm has given me the minimum cost and maximum efficiency after applying all the methods. Then I can say that for this, the genetic algorithm has given the minimum cost and maximum efficiency. So the genetic algorithm has given good results for this problem that I have to mention. For this problem, it is not that a genetic algorithm gives always the good solution, good results, while solving the other problems. So that is why be philosophical. There is nothing like a perfect or what we say excellent traditional optimization algorithm or excellent advanced optimization algorithm. They are all techniques, and you try to learn as many as possible. And when you are working in the research field of optimization, you try to learn as many as possible, and to your research problem, you apply those methods and compare the results, and then arrive at conclusion. One particular optimization algorithm is showing good results for this research problem. With this idea, now I am closing this one. I am going to some other PowerPoint slide for discussion on some other topic. Okay, now let me open another file, and that is okay. Now let me go back here. If it is here, I will show you directly. I think it is here, but my mouse is not working. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me tell you this way. Yes, this I have explained. There are traditional optimization methods and advanced optimization methods, as I have explained. And there are many advanced optimization techniques. And you can see evolutionary algorithms. These are based on the human evolution principle, how the humans evolved themselves. Biological evolution, survival of the fittest, and evolutionary programming, evolution strategy, genetic algorithm. Actually, 1975 publication of Professor Holland, it had given wide publicity for this genetic algorithm. So that is why 1975 reference is very frequently cited by the researchers. And there are differential evolution. In 1997, this has also gained very good reputation. Differential evolution, this is based on genetic algorithm. Then swarm intelligence type of optimization algorithms, they are based on the swarm behavior, group behavior, like group of ants behavior, group of birds behavior, group of honeybees behavior, group of frogs, group of fireflies, etc., etc. Then some other algorithms are there which are not based on this biological evolution or the behavior of the groups. Those are not coming under any particular category, like harmony search algorithm. That means based on the musical instruments, biogeography based optimization, based on immigration and emigration of the species, based on the gravitational force, gravitational search algorithm, based on the deceiving behavior of the cuckoo bird, cuckoo search, TLBO algorithm, J algorithm, etc., etc. There are many algorithms which are not related with either biological evolution or swarm intelligence. And then what is observed? These advanced optimization techniques, many of them are having their own specific parameters. For example, with how many solutions we start, all these algorithms start with a population, except simulated annealing, Tabu such type of algorithms. Otherwise, all these advanced optimization techniques are population-based algorithms. They start with some population. Population means initial number of solutions, initial guess solutions. They start with initial guess solutions. That is called population size. And then how many iterations we carry out. That is called number of iterations, also called number of generations. So population size and number of iterations, those are common for all algorithms. Any algorithm you take, they require population-based algorithms. They require population size and number of iterations. These are common control parameters. Why I am saying common control parameter? If you change the population size, then your result may change. If you change the number of iterations, your result, objective function value may change. That is why they have the effect on the value of the objective function. So you have to make various trials, various combinations of population size and number of iterations to get the real optimum value of the objective function. So हम इसमें तो लटकना ही है, population size and number of iterations. Whenever you take up any advanced optimization technique, population based. But in addition, different algorithms require their own algorithm specific control parameters. These are called specific parameters to the algorithm. For example, I tell you, if I take a genetic algorithm, here it is not visible, but I read it for you. If you take genetic algorithm, it has crossover probability, mutation probability, and selection operator. So if you take crossover probability of 0.8, mutation probability of 0.1, and selection operator as Rowlett-Will selection, and some population size and some number of iterations, then you will get one value of objective function. If you change these crossover probability, mutation probability, selection operator, then the result will be something else. If you change these values again, then the result may be some other thing. So then actually the researcher is interested in getting the optimum value of the objective function. But वो इसमें लटकता रहेगा ना, he will be struggling now. What is the optimum set of optimum value of crossover probability, optimum value of mutation probability, optimum value of selection operator? He has to struggle in this to find out that means finding out the optimum parameters specific to the algorithm itself is an optimization problem. वो इसमें लटकता रहेगा. Suppose if he is not doing this exercise, simply using some default values, because nowadays MATLAB is having this genetic algorithm. Many young researchers are making use of that just like a black box. And they use the default values of crossover probability, mutation probability, and the selection operator. So for those default parameters, some value of objective function you are getting. But if you change those default values, then some other value of objective function you may get. And that may be even better or worse. We cannot say. We can say only after attempting. That is why as a reviewer, whenever I receive any research paper where the others had applied a genetic algorithm, I see how much crossover probability, how much mutation probability, how much selection operator, what is the selection operator they had used, and I ask them why and how you have arrived at these values of crossover mutation probability and selection operator. Have you conducted many number of trials? After conducting many number of trials only, one has to settle at particular combination of crossover probability, mutation probability, selection operator, population size, number of iterations, like that. So similarly, all other well-known algorithms, particle swarm optimization, it has its own specific parameters. Artificial bee colony, it has its own specific parameters. Harmony search algorithm, it has its own specific parameters. Ant colony optimization requires its own parameters. Similarly, all other algorithms require the tuning of specific parameters. If you don't find out the optimum values of those specific parameters, then your objective function value which you are getting finally, that may not be really the optimum value of the objective function. That may be inferior solution. So improper tuning of the algorithm specific parameters may either increase the computational effort or yield local optimum solution. This is what I have written the statement. That was why in the year 2011, we had developed an algorithm known as teaching learning based optimization algorithm. Because teaching learning is close to my heart, so I named that as teaching learning based optimization algorithm, TLBO. The main aim of that algorithm was to avoid these algorithm specific parameters. That algorithm is not having any specific parameters. Population size and number of iterations, those are required by any population based algorithm. TLBO is not exceptional in that case. TLBO algorithm also we require tuning of population size and number of iterations. But there are no other specific parameters to tune. But whereas if you take genetic, well-popular algorithms like genetic algorithm, PSO, ACO, differential evolution, etc., what we observe, in addition to tuning of population size and number of iterations, we have to tune their specific parameters also. It increases the burden on the researcher. How to know the optimum combination? For that, he has to conduct a large number of trials. But utna patience kiske paas hoga? All are looking for shortcuts only. Even attending training programs also, participants are looking for shortcuts, logging in and then going elsewhere just to mark the presence. So then shortcut ka duniya mein, who is going to make all those attempts to arrive at the right set of these specific parameters and population size and number of iterations? So that is why, but it is right procedure is we have to try large combinations of these parameters, specific parameters, and then arrive at some optimum set, then use those values of crossover probability, mutation probability, selection operator, population size, and number of iterations to solve the problem. So that was why in 2011 we developed TLBO algorithm. That was not algorithm specific parameterless. That was parameter. I think to my bad luck today only, my neighbor deans, they are also busy in their activities. Some disturbance I myself feeling while explaining all these things. Otherwise, normally I remain in this dean cabin and normally. But to my bad luck or whatever, today all are present. So that is creating some disturbance, but I request you to bear with me. And so, okay, then, so the TLB algorithm was not having any specific parameters, so it became popular. I claim without any hesitation that TLBO was the first algorithm in the optimization literature which was not having algorithm specific parameters. It has been established also that TLBO was the first optimization algorithm that was not having any specific parameters to tune. And subsequently, by seeing the TLBO algorithm, subsequently Mirjalili and others from Australian University, they developed Gray Wolf optimizer and that type of algorithms. They also do not have this algorithm specific parameters. But he took inspiration from TLBO only. He used to write emails to me. And he himself said that TLBO is his inspiration, particularly this algorithm specific parameter less concept. So after that, colliding bodies optimization, that type of optimization methods have been developed by Iran people, Turkey people. There are very few optimization algorithms now existing which are parameterless. But first algorithm was TLBO algorithm. So after developing the TLBO algorithm in 2011, and after it became successful, then in the year 2016, I felt that why not to develop another optimization algorithm which is parameterless and which is even much simpler than TLBO algorithm. With that idea, an algorithm has been developed that I show you. That is called JR algorithm. Now I explain you the working of this JR algorithm, and then I will show you the applications of this JR algorithm in the manufacturing. Because our topic of today is applications of these optimization techniques in manufacturing. But I want that participants should learn one algorithm at least in this training program. At least they should have some basic idea so that they can apply these optimization techniques if their research problem is like that. Okay, then what is the J algorithm? What I do, I try to explain this by means of an example directly. And yes, this is the flowchart. As per this flowchart, what is there? And okay, let me interact because I don't know whether participants are really listening or not. I have Rishal Kashyap, Nikhil Bari type of students with me, PhD students. I can ask them, and I know they are very much attentive. But let me check let me interact with our Yash Khatri. You are there? Yash Khatri.
Yes, sir.
Can you read that first block, what is written here?
Initialize population size, number of design, variable and termination criteria.
Okay, you turn off your mic. Now, what is the basic step we are doing? Here, the basic step we are doing is initialize the population size. What is that population size? We start with maybe 5 solutions, initial guess solutions, we can call. Initial guess solutions. Maybe that population size is 5 or 10 or 15 or whatever it is. Population size we take that way. And then what we are doing, you will understand now. I think someone has written a question. Let me see. Link, please. Q. What is link? Attendance link, please. They are worried more about attendance. Sanjay, Vijay Das. That is what I know. Okay, then. Okay, let me gain my interest again in this. Initialize population size means how much is the population size you are starting with. Design variables means how many decision variables are there. Termination criteria, you can decide. After how many iterations you will stop it. And so now let me show you by means of this example. This objective function is let us take one objective function. This objective function is fxi equal to sigma I equal to 1 to xi square. I equal to 1 xi square. So this is the objective function. So we have to minimize the value of this objective function. If there are two variables, it will be x1 square plus x2 square. If it is 3 variables, then x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. If there are 10 variables, then this is x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square plus etc. etc. Last term will be x10 square. So we want to minimize the value, and the range for xi is minus 100 to 100. That means what? These xi, x values, the variables can take any value between minus 100 to plus 100. Minus 100 to plus 100. They can take any value between minus 100 to plus 100. So now, dear participants, I am asking you the question. You can write your answer on the chart sheet, on the chart screen. In your opinion, what is the minimum value of this objective function corresponding to which values of xi? What is the minimum value of this objective function? At least you write it on the chart screen. Our objective function is sigma xi square I equal to 1 to n. N can be any. It can be 2 or 3 or 4 or 1 million or 1 billion or any. So range of variables will be minus 100 to plus 100 only. Now I am going back to chat screen. Please see this function and tell me what is your answer to this. Yes, Prashant, Babu, and yes, Bharati Kupuswamy. Muthukumaran I am expecting. Muthukumaran. Isaki Appan. And yes, anything else? Praveen Gadge. Okay. Okay, you are writing this as a 0. Okay, I agree with you. This is now minus 100 to plus 100. Optimum value of xi are zeros. x1 0, x2 0, x3 0. All are zeros. Then only fx will become 0. Because don't think that minus 100 is there. If you keep minus 100 here, it becomes squared. It becomes positive only. So that is why optimum value of xi is 0. Whatever xi's are there, even if 100 xi's are there, all must be zeros, and that gives the minimum value of the objective function as 0. That is why the known solution to this benchmark function is 0 for all xi values of 0. Now what we do, I apply this optimization algorithm and I show you. So this is the initial table which I generated randomly. So 5 solutions I have started with. This is called population size 5. Population size 5. Then I considered 2 variables only. For demonstration, I can consider 2 variables. I cannot show you 100 variables on this small screen. So 2 variables I have taken, and then these values I have generated randomly within the given range. What is the given range? Minus 100 to plus 100. So within minus 100 to plus 100, I have just guessed some values. These are random values within the given range. Then after that, I have substituted these x1 and x2 values in fx. What is fx in our case? As 2 variables are there, this will be x1 square plus x2 square. Our equation is sigma equal to 1 to 2 xi square. So that becomes x1 square plus x2 square. So minus 5 whole square plus 18 square, that is 349. Second candidate, 14 square plus 63 square, that is 4165. Then third candidate, 70 square plus minus 6 whole square, that is 4936. Then minus 8 whole square plus 7 square, that is 113. Minus 12 whole square plus minus 18 whole square, that is 468. So this is what I have generated the solutions randomly in the beginning. These are random solutions. So my population size is 5, and the design variables are, addition variables are 2, and termination criteria, it is up to me. After how many iterations I want to stop this algorithm. So I may keep as 100 or 200 or 500. I will see the results. Okay, now What is written in the flow chart next? What is written in the flow chart after this? Yes, Jyoti, you can read the second block. Jyoti. If
Yes,
you,
sir.
yes. What is the second?
Identify best and worst solutions in the population.
Identify the best and worst solutions in the population. So what is best and worst? Ours is minimization function. We see here. Ours is minimization function. So minimum, whatever is the minimum value, that is considered as the best. So best is 113. Best is 113 because our fx values, out of these 5 fx values, whichever is the minimum, we consider that as best. And whichever is the highest, that we consider as the worst. So this is our logic. So that way, this algorithm is useful for both minimization as well as maximization problems. If it is maximization, then whatever is the highest value, we consider that as best. Whatever is the lowest value, we consider that as the worst. But ours is minimization problem. So we consider the lowest as the best and highest as the worst. So second block is over. Now, yes, Jyoti, now you can read that third block. Third block.
Yes, sir. Modify the solutions based on best and worst solutions.
Okay, some equation is given. Some equation is given. Modify the solutions based on the best and worst solutions. So how I want to modify what I do? Why modifying means I want to calculate new values of x1 and x2 because I don't want to stop here. These are random initial solutions. I want to proceed. I want to modify these values of x1 and x2. For that purpose, I have to do something. So one equation is proposed. That equation is useful for modifying these values of x1 and x2. What is the new value of x1? What is the new value of x1? What is the new value of x2 for this candidate 1? For the candidate 1, we see that. What is the new value? And now old value, how much? Old value is minus, my mouse is not working. Old value is minus 5. We do this, we take this. Well, there is one formula I am writing here. I am writing here like this. Like this. And if you consider this as the new value. New value is equal to old value plus some random number. Random number multiplied by the best x value minus absolute of old value minus second random number multiplied by this is I think worst value minus absolute of old value. This I explained by means of this example only. What is the new value of x1 for candidate 1 is this minus 5 plus r1. R1 is a random number. Random number can be between 0 to 1. Random number can be between 0 to 1. So minus 5 plus r1 multiplied by what is best x1? This one. You please see. Best fx is 113. So corresponding x1 and x2 are called best x1 and best x2. And corresponding to worst value of 4936, what we can have, worst x1 is 70, worst x2 is minus 6. Minus 6. Please remember this. Now, how do we calculate the new value of x1 for the first candidate? That is this old value, minus 5 plus r1 multiplied by this best, minus 8 minus of absolute value of this minus 5. That term is over. Then minus R2, second random number R2 multiplied by worst x1. Worst x1 is 70 minus of absolute of this old number. That gives you the new value of x1. I show you here. Here you see the bottom line. You can see new value equal to this old value plus some random number between 0 to 1. R1 0.58 multiplied by best x1. Best x1 is minus 8 minus, please turn off your mic, participants. You can make phone calls later. Turn off your mic. And yes, mood kharab ho jata hai with the non-serious candidates. And this old value plus random number R1 multiplied by best x1 minus 8 minus of absolute of old value minus 5 minus second random number. Second random number also between 0 to 1. It can be any number between 0 to 1. 0.81 multiplied by worst x1. Worst x1 is 70 and minus of absolute of old value. This is the equation. So with this, I have found out the new value of x1 as minus 65.19. And then similarly, I can calculate what is the new value of x2, new value of x2 for the candidate 1, because I want to modify the values of x1 and x2 for the first candidate. So x1 I have modified. Then how I should modify x2? In that case, I consider this best x2 and worst x2. So how will I modify? This old value 18 plus r1, r1 any value between 0 to 1. So 18 plus r1 multiplied by 7 minus absolute 18, bracket close, minus r2 multiplied by worst value minus 6 minus of absolute 18. That gives the new value of x2. New value of x.
Sorry, sir. Excuse me. May I ask something?
No, turn off your mic. Whatever you want to ask, right there on the chat screen.
Okay, thank you.
And okay. Now, so here we have modified the values like this. Now you can observe here what I have done. That old value 18 plus some random number multiplied by best x2 minus absolute old value minus second random number multiplied by worst x2 minus absolute old value. That is 19.64. This way I have calculated the new values of x1 and x2 for the first candidate. Then in the table 2, new table, table 2 is a new table. Then those new values of x1 and x2 I have kept here for the first candidate. And fx value is nothing but our sigma xi square. That is our objective function. That means minus 65.19 whole square plus 19.64 whole square. That is 4635. This is a new solution for the candidate 1 that I have kept in table 2. So now going to table 1 back, we have to modify these values for the other candidates also. One more example, just I am telling you how I modify for the second candidate. How I modify this value? So new value is equal to this old value 14 plus random number r1 multiplied by minus 8 minus of absolute 14, bracket close, minus r2 multiplied by 70 minus absolute 14. That will be the new value of x1 for candidate 2. What will be the new value of x2 for candidate 2? This old value 63 plus r1 into 7 minus absolute 63, bracket close, minus r2 multiplied by worst value minus 6 minus of absolute 63. This way I proceed. Then for the second candidate also, I have got the new solutions, new x1, x2 and new fx value. That procedure I continued for all remaining 3 solutions, 3, 4, 5 also. So these are all new values. These are all new values. Let me see what that participant has written. He has a query. Let me see what he has typed. Confirm. What is this? Attendance link will be provided. Oh, sir, confirm where this equation came. It is from my mind. It is not TLB algorithm. It is J algorithm. I had already shown the slide. I had already shown in the title. It is J algorithm. It is not TLB algorithm. TLB algorithm was developed in 2011. J algorithm in 2016. Now I already explained. I tried to propose another simpler algorithm, that is J algorithm. TLB algorithm was simple as compared to all other algorithms existing then. Now I made it much simpler by this J algorithm. Okay, and now yes. Now I have modified all the values like this. Then okay, now I think Jyoti can help me. What is there in the after? Now you see Jyoti, modify the solutions based on best and worst solutions. What I have done, new value is equal to old value plus random number r1 multiplied by best x minus absolute old x minus r2 multiplied by worst x minus absolute old x. This simple equation. This has been developed by me. Someone somewhere, someone has to develop. So I have developed this. Where from this has come means from my mind. That's all. Okay. Yes, Jyoti, what next?
So is the solution corresponding to new value better than that corresponding to old value?
Okay. So that means we have to compare the new solution with the old solution. If new solution is better, yes, then you accept the new solution and replace the previous solution. If new solution is not better, then keep the old solution. Previous solution, you keep the old solution only. Reject the new solution. So this is what, with that one iteration will be over. Now let us compare then table 1. Table 1 is the old one. Table 2 is the new one. So table 2 you compare with table 1 in terms of fx. In terms of fx. So for the first candidate, new fx is 4635. Ours is minimization problem, please remember. Jyoti, you can turn on your mic and you can go on replying to me. So
Yes, sir.
new solution is 4635 for candidate 1 and old solution is 349. So which is better, old or new?
Old solution, sir.
Because we are looking for minimization, so old is better. So for the second candidate, old solution is 4165, but the new solution is 3997.7. So which is better?
New one.
So new one is better. For third candidate, new solution is 613 and old solution is 4936. So which is better?
New solution.
Okay. Old solution for the fourth candidate is 113 and new solution is 4735. Which is better?
Old solution.
Old. And for the fifth candidate, new solution is 5249 and old solution is 468. So which is better?
Old solution.
Old solution. So we are preparing table 3 with these updated values. Updated values of the variables and the objective function based on fitness comparison. At the end of first iteration, they are like this. So first iteration is over. I don't know how many of you are using any advanced optimization techniques. If any of you are using any advanced optimization techniques, my dear friends, you please compare those advanced optimization algorithms which you are using with this J algorithm. I can proudly say now, one iteration is over. Over. Algorithm, it is the working of the algorithm. It is the working of the algorithm. If you understand this step, then remaining steps are similar. So at the end of first iteration, what is the best value? 113. What is the worst value? 3997.7. Okay. That means in the beginning, when we started randomly, what is the best solution? 113. That means at the end of first iteration, improvement is not there. The same 113 is existing, but the worst solution is improved because initially 4936, but at the end of first iteration, it is improved to what is the worst solution now in table 3? 3997. So yes, improve over here. Now, if we want to go for second iteration, you have to go anyway in the computer program which you write in MATLAB or Python or Java, whatever you are familiar with. You have to mention the number of iterations. So now, is the termination criteria satisfied? Not satisfied. Let us go for second iteration. Then what we do? Yes, Jyoti, what we will do then?
So we'll again identify the best and worst
We
solution.
again identify the best and worst and we modify the solution based on that equation. And then what we do, this you see table 3. And then here we have identified best x3, best to fx. So best x1 is -8, best x2 is 7. And worst x1 is -44.12, worst x2 is 45.29. Now we will modify these values again. So what will be the new value of candidate 1 for x1? That is this -5 plus r1 into -8 minus of absolute this -5 minus r2 multiplied by worst x1 -44.12 minus of absolute -5. That is the new value of x1. What will be the new value of x2? This old value 18 plus r1 into 7 minus absolute 18 bracket close minus r2 multiplied by 45.29 minus of absolute 18. So that will give you this table 4. In table 4, the new values of x1 and x2 for the candidate 1 is this. Corresponding fx is 7.78. Similarly, all other values I have modified. So these are all modified values of other solutions. So this is about table 4. New values of the variables and the objective function during this second iteration. Now, as for the flowchart, now we have to compare old values with the new values. Now, Jyoti, you can turn off your mic. Now I want to ask another participant, and yes, Subbareddy is not there, probably simply logged in and went away. Savan, Farah, Fefar also, I think same case. Yes. What about yes, Teli Ramesh? Ramesh, you are there? Ramesh, you are there? Ramesh Teli. Not there. I know it. Are organizers? Who is looking after this? Are now FDP AIM? I am finding. Who is that?
Sir, that is the common ID which we use to share the attendance.
Okay. Harshitji, now you can understand how many are serious. This
Yes,
is logged in and absent. That's
as a host, I cannot speak that.
of course, we organizers are helpless.
Yes, yeah, right, sir.
We are here to disseminate the information.
Right.
But when somebody is not ready to receive it, we cannot help.
Yes,
cannot.
that is true.
Okay, then let me try one more person. Whether I am lucky or not, let me check. Mohan Singh Pardesi. Can you help me now to identify which is the best out of those table 3 and table 4? Are you there, Mohan Singh? That same case, that same thing. Okay, then it seems that I have to. Yes, Sugandhi is there. Anbu Sugandhi, you are there? Anbu Sugandhi? Sugandhi. So that is the state of affairs. Okay, Jyoti, I depend on you only. My dear Jyoti, you can help me now. Jyoti, you can turn on your mic. And okay, now table 4, now we have to compare with table 3. What is the first candidate solution? 7.7803. What is the old solution? 349.
Yes,
349.
sir.
Which is better than old or new? New is 7 point something.
Yes, sir.
It is old.
New solution is better.
New is better. Then old solution for the second candidate is 3997. Then what is new solution? 2381. Which is better?
New solution.
New. So this we will take to next table, table 5. So for the third candidate, new solution is 1390. Then old solution kaha 613 na 613.697. So we can compare which is better, new or old. And fourth candidate old solution is 113. For the fourth candidate, new solution is 157. So which is better?
Old solution.
Old is better. For fifth candidate, 1323 is the new solution, and old solution is 468. So which is better?
Old solution.
Old solution. So table 3 and table 4 are compared. Now we are making table 5. Table 5. These are the updated values of the variables and the objective function based on fitness comparison at the end of second iteration. Jyoti, now you can understand now. In the beginning, when we started with the random solution, that best value is 113. Now at the end of second iteration, what is the best value?
7.7803.
So that means we are successfully minimizing, na? We
Yes.
are minimizing. And what is the worst value in the beginning? I think that is in 5,000 or somewhere. Let us see. Worst value was 4,936. 4,936. That was the worst value in table 1, randomly generated. But at the end of second iteration, we have seen worst value 2381. So worst value is also improved. That means we try to improve not only the best solution, we try to improve the worst solution also. हम बुरे लोगों को भी सुधारने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं. That is the meaning of this. That means the solution always tries to move towards the success. Solution always tries to, our algorithm tries to move towards the best solution, very closer to that, and at the same time avoiding the worst solution. Avoiding the worst solution, even though I say actual practice mein what we are doing, we are improving that worst solution also. Finally, this worst solution will also be approaching the best solution, best solution. So as the algorithm tries to be closer to the best solution, and at the same time trying to avoid the worst solution and improving the worst solution, so we named it as victory, trump, Jaya algorithm. I wanted to give Indianness to this algorithm because various optimization algorithms had been developed by foreigners. So I thought that why not giving the Indian name to this? Of course, there was another reason also. And so Trump for success in Sanskrit. So I have named it as Jaya optimization algorithm. And so this is the explanation corresponding to this. If you go for next two iteration, then best to x1 and best x2 will be like this, and worst x1 and worst x2 will be like this. Then assume any random numbers between 0 to 1 and go ahead. And when you write the program will automatically do it. Maybe after certain number of iterations, you will get x1, x2 as zeros and fx as 0. Because that is the ideal solution, right? No solution to that benchmark function. This you will get. And so this is what the basic working of Jaya algorithm. And the same approach can be used for constrained optimization problems also. But as time is short, I cannot take it now. But basic algorithm working I have explained, and all these steps I have explained in my papers, research papers as well. And now what I show you, okay, let me see the main screen. If any doubts are there, let me clarify. We need to do same step till all values of new table are best. Yes. In Jaya algorithm or even in TLB algorithm, when we reach the convergence, all values will be same, all solutions will be same. But that is Armugam attendance forms are inko absent hi kar do yaar Armugam ko. We have to make him absent. He is more worried about attendance form. He is not interested in learning the things. And okay, then actually this disturbs. I came back to this main screen with the hope that to see some questions. Okay, Janak Sutare has asked one question, but Armugam is interested in his attendance. Okay. Then now I show you directly some research papers, how this algorithm can be applied in manufacturing.
Sir, one more question in chat box.
What is that? Do we need to consider same R1 and R2 values for every iteration? No. Actually, when you write the optimal code in MATLAB or Python or Java, whatever, those random values are taken randomly. Those are random. Let them be random. So in that process, actually, we try to move towards the global optimum. Okay. Then now I show you some papers. I request to Harshit ji to allow me some 15 minutes more or so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please take your time, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I try to show you some more research papers. For your sake, I had downloaded a few papers in the afternoon. Where are those? I think here. And now let me see here. Building. Okay, building. And yes. I have to minimize this. Harshit ji, you are able to see this PDF file now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This here, the Jaya algorithm, it was applied for optimization of welding process parameters of welding. Different welding process were considered, and here mostly the single objective functions. Wherever multi-objectives are there, then we attempted by following a priori approach. That I will explain if that comes to that. Okay, this was published in 2017, but just to give you the idea, I am showing you this. Here, this Jaya algorithm is applied for welding process parameters optimization. And okay, what are those processes? Let us see. Here, Jaya algorithm explained. And here, quasi-oppositional based means it is a variant of Jaya algorithm, which I proposed. That you need not bother now. Basic Jaya algorithm, if you understand, that is enough for this session. So optimization of submerged arc welding process. This was the first example considered. This example was previously considered by other researchers in 2013. So the same thing is considered now. In fact, here this is having, I think, 5 objective functions. 5 objective functions. This is related to welding. Those who work on welding, they may be familiar with this. But those who are not familiar, doesn't matter. I make it simple in layman's terms. We have 5 objectives. This is to be minimized. Second objective is also to be minimized. Third objective is to be maximized. Fourth objective is to be maximized. And fifth objective is also to be maximized. 5 objectives are there, and 2 objectives are to be minimized, and 3 objectives are to be maximized. And how many variables are there? I think 4 variables are there. Welding process parameters. This one, V, S, and F. So 4 variables are there. Then actually, by means of a procedure, I have clubbed all those. I have clubbed all those 5 objectives. Time is not there, so I cannot explain you now all this. But you understand, by this procedure, we can club. This is called a priori approach. Posterior approach is also there, that I will show you in other paper. By this process, actually, by this method, I have clubbed all the 5 objectives, and our combined objective I minimized. Well, because here these 2 functions are related to minimization, and last 3 are related to that P, TS, and H. That is tensile strength of the weld, penetration of the weld, and I think here hardness. For that particular application, hardness is required to be higher. So the penetration, tensile strength, and hardness, those are required to be higher. Those are considered as maximization functions. And bead width, that weld width of the weld, and reinforcement those are considered, those are to be minimum. Those are to be minimized. So combined objective function, I have written this. Minus signs I have kept here because these are actually maximization functions. So as the combined objective function is to be minimized, so I have put minus sign here. That you need not bother. First you get familiar with this, and when you read literature, you will understand all this. W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, these are all the importance. How much importance you are giving to each objective. If you want to give equal importance, then here I have written 5 objectives are there, so equal importance 20%, 0.2. Or if you are interested in giving different weights, you can give. That is there. So constraints, there are some constraints, and then here the optimization algorithm is applied. A procedure is the same. Each objective function is solved just like the manner in which I described you. 4 variables are there. That means x1, x2, x3, x4. 4 variables are there. So 4 variables, and then I generated random population of say 5. Then 5 sets of x1, x2, x3, x4. Then value of each objective function is calculated. Every time one objective function is considered. Every time one objective function, a single objective function. If it is to be maximized, then maximum value of fx is the best, minimum value of fx is the worst. If it is minimization function, minimum value is the best, maximum value of fx is the worst. That way considering, and individually all the 5 objectives, is that individual objective function values are shown in this table. You can see here. Jaya algorithm and quasi-oppositional algorithm Jaya, they have given 17.062. The good solutions are actually indicated in bold. ELB also has given good solution, but much even slightly better than that Jaya, this quasi-oppositional Jaya. Similarly, reinforcement, third objective, fourth objective, fifth objective, like that, the values are shown here. Then combined objective function. Now in this table, all 5 objective functions are considered individually. But when I clubbed all those as a single objective function, combined objective function, then what is the best combination? Those values are given here. Once a single objective, I have clubbed it, then that single objective function is attempted as a minimization problem. And then this is the graph. Jaya and quasi-oppositional Jaya. Convergence, as the number of iterations are increasing, you can see convergence. Convergence means after the number of iterations, the same result you will get, whatever is the number of iterations. Then we say convergence has reached. You can observe here the blue color indicates the Jaya algorithm, red color indicates QO-Jaya algorithm, and QO-Jaya algorithm has given somewhat better result as compared to the Jaya, basic Jaya algorithm. And because the combined objective function is to be minimized, so minimum value is required. That is why the QOJI is considered better than JI. But QOJI, whatever, those are all improvements which I have made. But if you learn JI algorithm, then you can think of applying that or even the improved versions. Then optimization of electron beam welding. Here two objectives. Here minimize A. One objective is given. That is in terms of BW and BP. These are given here. Constraints are given here. So under these constraints, solving this problem and process parameter bounds. Here also I think 4 variables are there. Voltage, current, S, B, like that. And okay, then the results are previously in 2015, some Kanigal-Pula and others used JI algorithm for the same problem. But now JI algorithm and QOJI algorithm, they have given good solution for this. And these are all graphs. Similarly, optimization of friction stir welding process. Here I think only one objective is there. Single objective is there. Maximize CR, and then maximize CR and then parameter bounds. Here also there are, I'm sorry, mouse is not working properly. So here there are three variables and their ranges are given. So when I applied the optimization algorithm, results are like this. So this way I had applied even to gas tungsten arc welding. Here maximization of penetration, and there are 4 variables and their ranges. So I solved simply using our JI algorithm. This is one. And similarly in machining, if I take, in machining also we had used this JI algorithm, multi-objective JI algorithm, various optimization process, machining process here. Machining process like wire electrode charge machining, laser cutting, electrochemical machining process, and focused ion beam micro milling process. So 4 advanced manufacturing processes are considered: wire EDM, laser cutting, ECM, and focused ion beam micro machining. There also this posterior approach of this JI algorithm applied. This is all theory about that, and these processes. And so here in this first case, 2 objectives are there. Then how many variables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 variables are there. Their ranges are given. So seeing these objectives, I have individually optimized first, and then I can use combined objective function, and then I can minimize it. That is one approach. That is called a priori approach. But I have used some other approach known as posterior approach in this paper. I need not explain all that, because that you may not understand within this short time. Laser cutting also 2 objectives, and I think 4 variables are there: x1, x2, x3, x4. Their ranges are here. Then we applied JI algorithm multi-objective version. We published this paper in Elsevier Journal, Engineering Applications of Artificial Intelligence. And this way, actually, there are many papers here I have brought, like this even abrasive water jet machining, cancel. And okay, and similarly casting process, submerged arc welding. Submerged arc welding, specifically some 4 examples of submerged arc welding were taken, and they were attempted. Here a new multi-objective JI algorithm for optimization of model machining process. Here we have taken different examples: plasma arc machining, EDM, and micro EDM. Micro EDM we considered. And IIT Kanpur, one professor is there, Professor Ram Kumar. Actually, he had provided us the data, experimental data related to these processes. Then we developed the mathematical models in our NIT Surat. Then to those mathematical models, we applied our JI algorithm, multi-objective version, and we got good results. This is also published in one of the good journals, and that is having good impact factor. And now, what I want to show you, all of you, this way we have published many papers using JI algorithm. And now what I want to show you is our science directive. Let me show you our science directive, whether I only have applied this JI algorithm or this has been accepted by other researchers in the field. In your presence only I have opened the science directive. Let me type JI algorithm in your presence. Let us see how this J algorithm has been applied by the other researchers. Whether they are applying or these are only stopped by my papers. You can see here. Harshit ji, you are able to see this Science Direct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now you see the first paper, if you observe, improved shuffled J algorithm for sizing optimization of skeletal structures with discrete variables, November 2020. These are, I think, Iranians. Comprehensive learning J algorithm for parameter extraction of photovoltaic models. It was, all these are elsewhere journals, please understand. Energy, Chinese researchers had published. Parameter-free J algorithm for truss sizing layout optimization under natural frequency constraints. This is, I think, structural engineering. I think by Turkish people, Turkish researchers. Novel grid-oriented dynamic weight parameter-based improved variant of J algorithm, October 2020. Optimization of process parameters of magnetic abrasive finishing using J algorithm. Of course, these are from MIT Warangal. They published in a conference materials today, it was published. But anyway, I don't consider it much unless the paper published in journal. Okay. Optimal identification of solid oxide fuel cell parameters using a competitive hybrid differential evolution and J algorithm. These people, Chinese people, they clubbed J algorithm with differential evolution and they produced good results. Dynamic load scheduling in IaaS cloud using binary J algorithm. It is computer science people. They have used this J algorithm even in cloud computing. An improved J optimization algorithm with Levy flight. Logistic chaotic J algorithm for parameters identification of photovoltaic cell and module models. Similarly, there are many applications. Improved artificial neural network technique combined with J algorithm for crack identification in plates using XIGA and experimental analysis. Here actually neural networks were trained by J algorithm. I am happy to share with you that neural networks, even in machine learning, deep learning, some researchers have reported the application of J algorithm for training the deep neural network. They have produced better results as compared to the training given by other algorithms like GA, PSO, ABC, Grey-Wolf Optimizer, etc. Okay. And these people, these are from Spain, Spanish researchers. Efficient parallel and fast convergence chaotic J algorithms. And these people, optimum design of reinforced concrete counterfort retaining walls using TLBO J algorithms. The Turkish researchers, structural engineering, they had applied both TLBO and J algorithm. Similarly, you can see an efficient J algorithm with Levy flight for nonlinear channel equalization. And similarly, optimization of EDM process parameters using J algorithm. Of course, that was in materials today, so I don't give much importance to that. Electrical engineering researchers, they had applied it for optimal power flow using AMTPG J algorithm. These are all variations of J algorithm. Different researchers, they have tried to improve the performance of the basic J algorithm. I myself tried. Actually, basic J algorithm itself gives good results. But just to see if improvement in performance can be achieved, we tried different variations. And researchers in the field of optimization, they also tried to see if there can be any further improvement. And they have reported by doing so and so modification in this basic J algorithm, we can get to even much better results. That is why all these papers are like this. And now coming to our, yes, if you people are belonging to manufacturing field, please see. Flexible job shop scheduling. Flexible job shop scheduling problem that was attempted by discrete J algorithm. So J algorithm can be used for continuous optimization problems as well as discrete optimization problems. Solar cells parameters extraction and structural damage identification. Flexible job shop scheduling with transportation and setup times. Flexible job shop scheduling problem using an improved J algorithm. J algorithm based wrapper method for optimal feature selection in supervised classification. Computer engineering people, they had applied it this way. And yes, here in this paper, they applied PSO, genetic algorithm, FEM, etc. Optimum unit sizing of hybrid renewable energy system using Harmony Search, JEA, PSO, etc. Just I show you one more screen because there are so many papers by the researchers. You can see, you can observe here because I need not to say many times. You can observe here how many papers are published in 2020, and I have shown you so far this 2020, all these are 2020. So the other papers, if I show you here, they are also like this, flexible job scheduling, etc., which I explained, and I think we are here. They have clubbed JEA algorithm with even traditional optimization method, Nelder-Mead simplex method. Of course, this is my own paper. I don't pay much attention to that. And water retention curve model with JEA algorithm. Even in this agricultural field, people have applied a neural network trained by JEA algorithm. Of course, synthesis of linear antenna arrays using JEA, self-adaptive JEA, and chaotic JEA algorithms. Of course, now I am admitting this paper was my daughter, Jaya Lakshmi Ravipudi, and as a part of her BTech project itself, based on her BTech project, she was able to publish this research paper. Of course, Jaya was my mother's name, and I was and I am fond of my mother. So my mother's name I kept to my daughter, and then in addition, I wanted to give Indianness to the algorithm so that foreigners should follow our Indian developed algorithm. So I named it as Jaya. And modified Jaya algorithms for optimal power flow, incorporating renewable energy sources. And okay, for your information, I just to share my excitement that my daughter is now, she is pursuing her PhD program from University of Virginia on full assistantship. Okay. Then this way there are many optimization algorithms, and I have applied to this mechanical design, thermal engineering, and manufacturing. And for me, there is no restriction. I am basically professor of mechanical engineering, and moreover, my research area is in optimization. So optimization techniques can be applied in any field. As I belong to mechanical engineering, I started encouraging the students who are working in mechanical design, machine design, this thermal engineering, thermal systems and devices, design optimization, and manufacturing process parameters optimization, etc., etc. So that way I could publish. I did not publish many papers using JEA algorithm. Maybe 20 or 25 research papers I might have published in journals. But so far I tell you, this is only Science Direct, which I am showing you. If you open Springer link or Taylor and Francis or IEEE link, then you will come across many papers by various researchers working in different fields of engineering and sciences. Even in commerce field also, for currency exchange prediction, they had used this JEA algorithm. And of course, in my opinion, so far at least more than 3,000 research papers have been published by various researchers working in different fields of